All right, I put it off long enough, but we are getting close to Halloween, so this guy's got to go out. This is the 12-foot Grim Reaper from Home Depot, part of their Grave and Bones collection last year. He was in my display last year, but I never did a video on him because he was such a challenge to put together with two people, and here I am all by myself. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get him together, but let's give him our best shot. First, let's open up the box. There we go. We are all set to get started. I do like that the base comes in two pieces. That helps us store it pretty easily. It snaps together, and there is unfortunately a screw that we're going to need to put on as well. Nice and secure. The base does come with these extension poles as well to help give it balance, but I'm not going to put these on just yet. We'll put it on at the end. As we put the scythe together, we're going to need to run the cabling through it, and that's going to happen with all of the scythe pieces. And if you have lost the stickers on each of these scythe pieces, one way to tell which one is the next piece is it's got this little hole at the bottom that we're going to use to clip the power box to. First, we need to attach one of these long poles, though, that I left in the garage because it wouldn't all fit back in the box at the end of last season. Let's go ahead and add this on. And now we can slip our scythe pole over. Our next pole. Now for more scythe pieces. The box does recommend laying it on its side. I was avoiding doing that, but no longer. Let's go ahead and put on this next support bar. We can install our first hand next. We do need to slide it over the bar at the top. Seems to fit pretty snugly there. We have a couple of cables here that we can connect. Another scythe piece. Another bit of pole. Now is the part that caused us so much difficulty last year. It was the costume, so I'm going to read these instructions a little more thoroughly this time. All right, not to be confused with this opening in the front, which is the chest cavity. There's the Velcro on the back. So if we're looking at the back, this would be the left side, the left sleeve, and we're going to slide the left sleeve over the left arm. And now we can attach this funny looking piece. So we have a couple of different shaped bars. There is one that is the same thickness as this. So this is going to slide into this hole. And it just sort of hangs there. A circular tube here is going to attach to the base of this piece. You can probably not see that too well behind the costume. Now we have to maneuver this costume around the pole and up the body. I have to add my other arm now, which seems to have lost its foam. The control box is going to attach to the bottom of this pole that sticks out here. And now we can attach the chest piece. And there's some wires back here to connect as well. And now we can finally add the Reaper's head, but with not too much pressure. And then we can connect these color-coded cables as well. Here comes trouble. Also on the inside of the costume is a sensor. I connected that wire as well, and now we need to maneuver the costume into place. We also have this head piece we need to put on. I have a feeling I didn't get all the Velcro right, but let's move on for now. I can fix it when it's standing up. We have another hand to put on. Now we can finish the scythe, but we need to first assemble the blade, so put that aside for a moment. We're just going to slide these two things together, and the other screw is going to connect them. There we have our 12-foot levitating Reaper. You know, it does suggest you have 2 people to assemble this, but if you're determined, you can do it with 1. You just want to go slow, follow the directions. Maybe you won't forget to connect whatever these were supposed to connect to. Before we put this in place and try it out, let's bring the camera in and take a closer look. That scythe was worth all of the effort it took to put together. It is so huge and imposing. Very scary, much like his face. He's got a very evil look to him and very ashen, as if he has been charred and burned. We can make him glow with red, and that would give it a fire effect as well, which I'm using a lot in my display this year. If we make our way around to the back of him, from the back he looks just as creepy. His hands have so much sculpted detail, really give him a life or death of his own. There's also a lot of detail in the scythe itself with the faux rope wrapped around this nicely grained wood. And of course we have our standard metal base here, which we're going to need for such a big prop. So originally I had intended to have him a little farther back, sort of overlooking the graveyard, but I brought him forward here right next to the driveway where people are going to have to walk right underneath that giant scythe. I love the way he looks right here. I can't wait to see what he looks like in action. Let's turn him on, see what happens.
Hello, tiny mortal. You think it's a coincidence that our paths should cross? It never is. You are overdue to follow me into the underworld. I've got a charring bed of coals picked out for you to rest within. Your skeleton will look just like me very soon.
He does have a volume control, but that's about as loud as it gets. We can also change his colors, and you can have him stay lit when he's not activated. I love that.
Good evening, tiny human. I welcome you to my kingdom, a place of terror and darkness. Fear feeds the power of this place, so go ahead and shriek all you want. Don't worry, this is only for eternity. You may attempt to flee, but the darkness shall swallow you mercy as you stand before a being born of darkness and despair. May my haunting glow guide your way into the world of the dead. I am the harbinger of your impending doom. Say your last wishes now, before I rip you from this mortal realm.
I really like the fact that he has so many different phrases and you have different settings. So we can have him just lights like this. You can change which light you want it to appear as, or you can have it cycle between all of them, which I'm kind of partial to myself. He also has a timer, so he'll turn himself on and off. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but whatever it was worth it. I love this prop. He's got such a fluid movement. He's very creepy, and I think he's an overall very effective, scary prop. Last year, I had him kind of in the background, and here he is today, all up front for the trick-or-treaters. I can't wait to see what their reactions are. Of course, hopefully it'll be a little bit darker when they come. So stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll show you what he looks like at night. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining my Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, take care and happy haunting.
You may attempt to flee, but the darkness shall swallow you whole. If my scythe doesn't catch you first, with my towering form,